is DragonFeather, and I'm here today, hello people, I'm here to help you guys learn how to, create your own spell, because a lot of people have been coming to me recently, not only asking me, oh, how do you make your own spell, but also they've been asking me how to, to do it for them almost. Oh, could you write one out for me? And the bottom line with spell crafting is it's gonna work so much better if you do it yourself. If you write it out yourself. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to rhyme perfectly. It doesn't really have to be this amazing piece of poetry to work. It just has to come from your heart, and your intentions have to go into it. And that's really all you need. You don't even need all of the other fancy stuff like your wands or your athmays or your crystals or your herbs or any of that to create a successful spell. Or to cast a successful spell. You don't need any of that. All you need is your intentions, really, and something to say to help bring out your intentions. But the reason why we use the other things, like the crystals and the herbs and the athmays and the wands and all the tools that we use, is to help us focus our intentions. So I'm going to teach you guys how to create a very simple spell. I write my spells most of the time in sonnet format, which is A, B, A, B, C, D, C, D, what comes after D? E, F, E, F, G, G, there we go, sorry. Okay, so A, B, A, B, C, D, C, D, E, F, E, F, G, G. That's how I write my spells, and I'll put a little format right here for you guys. But that's basically what I do. And letters that are the same, so like A, B, A, B, the two A's would have rhyming words at the end, and the two B's would have different but still rhyming words at the end. And that's usually how I cast my spells or write out my spells. Of course, there's many other ways to do it. You can just do A, B, A, B. You can do A, A, B, B. You can do really whatever you want to have a good rhyming poem. The point of a spell is to make it rhyme. For any of you guys who are familiar with the Wiccan read, it says to write it in rhyme so it will work better. I'm paraphrasing it, obviously, but to write it in rhyme, so when you cast it, it flows better, and you can put more of it into it, because when you say something that rhymes, you're like, oh, that sounded fun. So that's why it is better to write things in rhyme. Now, for those of you guys who have a hard time rhyming or a hard time writing poetry, don't worry about it. It doesn't have to be written in rhyme, but I suggest on the internet, since you're on the internet right now, bookmark a rhyming dictionary on the internet. Just search words that rhyme with blah, 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 and then the first one that comes up is going to be the thing that I use, which is it dictionary.com? I don't know, but it has a rhyming dictionary in it, as well as a thesaurus and a dictionary. So that can help you as well. But basically, in order to cast a spell, so with all of our steps, step one, I guess, and the first part of writing a spell or creating a successful spell is to figure out what the hell you want. Do I want prosperity spell, or do I want a love spell, or do I want a self-improvement spell? What do you want to have in this spell? And what do you want to get from it, basically? And then, before you even try and conjure a spell, say you want prosperity spell, you're going to think to yourself, what have I done everything that I can to bring prosperity into my life? Have I, gone out and looked for a job? Have I been grateful for everything I've gotten? Have I said thank you for the things I already have? Think of those things first. And if you've done everything that you possibly can on the mundane world, and you're still having some issues, then is where you bring in the magic to help you give that little extra push to get what you need. So, step one, let's say you've done everything you possibly can, and you have no idea, you're like, I don't know what to do now, and this is when most people message me, oh, could you help me? So, step two is to figure out what exactly you want again. You go over it, what have I done, blah, 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 go over step one again in your head, quickly and briefly, and okay, prosperity spell. Let's say the prosperity spell that I want is, I want a job. Period. Very general, very blah, blah, blah. if you say you want a job in your spell, you're gonna get a job, but it might not be the job that you want. The whole thing about making spell and spell crafting is to be as specific as possible so the universe doesn't pull fucked up tricks on you. Be like, oh, you wanted a job here, you get to mow lawns now. Like, I don't know. Be specific. Say, like, I wanted to work at Hot Topic as a sales associate on such and such days. Like, be specific. You might feel like, wow, I'm being greedy, or wow, I'm being a little, like, I'm asking for too much. No, be specific, because if you want this, if you want it bad enough, and if it's good for you, then it'll come to you. And so now, after you figured out, totally as an example, I figured out that I want a job at Hot Topic as a sales associate and I want to work only on the weekdays. There you go. That's what I want. And I want to earn a little more than minimum wage. Okay? Done. Okay. And so at this point, what you're going to do now is you're going to create what you want into a poem. Like I said, I write in sonnets. Not everybody writes in sonnets, but I cast my spells in sonnets because it flows to me, and I like the way they work. So I have something in my eye and it bothers me. But yeah, so write a spell out. I do not have a spell for you guys about Hot Topic because I really don't want to take the time to write that. I love you guys, but no. But anyway, with all those specific details, try to the best of your ability to write something that rhymes, like either A, B, A, B, C, D, C, D, E, F, E, F, G, G. That's the sonnet format. You can do A, B, A, B. You can do A, A, B, B. You can do A, 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 B. C, 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 B. There's tons of poem layouts. If you search it up, you'll come with tons of poem layouts to help you have a structure to write a spell. And at this point, after you've written your spell, you've got it all down, it rhymes and everything, then the next step is to think about it. What do I want to use in this? What do you have? Not what you want to use, but what do you have at home that you can already use? Do you already have crystals that work for prosperity? Do you want to do you have herbs that could work for it? Do you have other sorts of things laying around the house that represent what you want and you want to incorporate in your spell? You can do it that way, and you need to figure that out. But if you have to like go out and buy all these things, don't buy all the things. You can totally do a spell without anything, just your intention. If you just sit at a candle and say it over and over again, like that's spell casting. Anyway, the next step is to figure out what kind of magic you want to use. Do you want to use a witch's jar? Do you want to use a spell bag? Do you want to do candle magic? Do you want to do meditation magic? It was where you meditate on it and you recite the poem in your head. You obviously have to have it memorized. Recite the spell in your head and visualize it happening. That's meditation magic. But what kind of magic do you want to use? And once you have all those things figured out, then pick a day to do the ritual. So the next step would be to pick a day that you want this to happen. If you're doing a prosperity spell, full moon is the best time to do it. If you're doing a banishing spell, like trying to get rid of someone or something in your life, like new moon is the best time to do it. And even if it's during the Sabbath, like do it on the Sabbath, you know? And if you want to do a love spell, do it on Beltane. I know Beltane already passed, but you know, there you go. I'm just giving ideas. But pick a day you want to do it, and don't pick it too close to the day already. If the full moon is like 3 days from now, like don't do it on this full moon, do it on the next full moon, because you want to be prepared. You don't want to be rushed. And after you have your date, then you will do what I like to call a spell rehearsal, which is where you basically sit down and like go through the spell, like go through the motions, what you're actually going to do for the spell. So you're not just winging it, or write it down. Write down a spell layout with the spell in it as well, so you don't forget anything. And this is where your Book of Shadows comes in, if you guys use them. And then after that, so say you have all this preparation done and you have all your spells, you have your items, your materials if you're using them. If not, you have nothing, you just have the spell and you have your intentions. And what you're going to do is you can take a ritual bath. You do not have to. But do some sort of thing to help prepare you for the spellcasting, to bring you into the more calm, magical mood, if you will, and just, ground yourself. And ground yourself for a while, like meditate a little bit before you cast a spell. Meditate on what you want to have, visualize what you're trying to get as if it's already there for you. And after that, cast your spell, and when you're done casting your spell, forget about it. And I know that's the hardest thing to do, but after you cast a spell, It usually the moment that you forget about it is when it works. I've cast spells on people before, and the moment that I forgot about it, it worked. So, you know. But anyway, you're gonna forget about it right after you're done, and you're just going to be like, know that it's gonna work. You have to believe. The key to this whole thing is you have to believe that you can make this happen. Because if you don't believe that you can make this happen, then the universe isn't gonna believe that you can make this happen, and it's not gonna happen. So believe that you can make it happen. The universe will believe that you can make it happen and make it happen for you. So focus on your intentions. Make sure you forget about it after you're done, and I know that's really difficult, and believe in yourself. I know that's cliche, but believe in yourself and this will work. So I hope this helped. Any questions or comments, leave them below and let me know, and if you guys have any more personal questions, personal message me and I will help you guys out as much as I can. And until next time, blessed be. I hope this helped, and bye.